In this edition of RPP News, the homelessness crisis continues. Honours for 2 locals. And the Southside Festival is nearly here. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPP News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. The homelessness crisis continues on the peninsula. A lack of housing, spiralling costs, inflation and failed businesses in the wake of the pandemic have contributed to a 25% increase in service requests from an already stretched Southern Peninsula Community Centre in Rosebud. Belinda Rodman of the centre told RPP that the face of homelessness is changing.
You're actually seeing more people and different kinds of people than perhaps in the past. Quite a few more women, single women or single parents with their kids, and then also an increase in older women who are now finding that they can't cope anymore, and a lot of them have got a huge amount of shame associated with the situation, and so they've delayed coming in for help. And then finally they get to the stage where they actually just aren't coping anymore, and the next step potentially is homelessness, sleeping in their car, that sort of thing.
A man and a woman have been charged following an eye-watering 22 burglaries across the peninsula last week. Mornington Peninsula and Frankston detectives launched a joint investigation after the duo allegedly forced entry into a number of commercial businesses between Monday and Thursday. The incidents occurred at 22 separate businesses across Mount Martha, Mornington, Mount Eliza, Tyab, Hastings and Pearcedale. Detectives arrested a 34-year-old Seaford man and a 28-year-old Frankston woman. They have been charged with multiple offences, including burglary, theft and criminal damage. Detectives are continuing to investigate a further 19 burglaries across Keysborough, Mornington and Frankston that they believe are linked. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Police are also calling for witnesses to a hit-and-run collision in Pearcedale last week. It is understood a red car collided with a motorcyclist on the Western Port Highway near the intersection of Baxter-Turretin Road at around 6:50 p.m. on Friday the 21st of April. The motorcyclist, a 35-year-old Frankston man, was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police were told the driver of the car did not stop at the scene. Anyone who witnessed the collision, has CCTV or dashcam footage or information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Andrew Duncan from the Mornington Little Athletics Centre has been inducted into the Australian Little Athletics Hall of Fame. A former president of Mornington Little Aths, Andrew's long career commenced as a 3-year-old when he helped out his mum and dad. Andrew then introduced his own children to the sport as his Aths career went from district to state and national level. Little Athletics Australia inducted Andrew into the volunteer category, stating that he had been instrumental in introducing change and innovation to the way Little Athletics is conducted at centre, region and state levels, while respecting the treasured traditions of the sport. Frankston Southside Festival is kicking off this coming Friday for 9 days of thought-provoking performances, raucous comedy, dazzling installations, striking visual arts and fun for the whole family. Hosted by the Frankston Arts Centre, Southside's Lumino City features an interactive sea and underground digital playground. Academy Award winner Sean Tan will be exhibiting his rarely seen visual arts series Rules of Summer, and the Melbourne International Comedy Festival Roadshow will hit the Frankston Arts Centre stage. There will be dance parties in shipping containers, augmented reality art galleries, torchlight street art tours and even an all-ages metal and hardcore gig. Details are at southsidefestival.com.au. And RPP is celebrating yet another award for one of its members. Zimbabwe broadcaster Ronald Nkwara has received the Victorian Zimbabwe Community's Prized Community Champion Award for 2023. Ronald is an active member of his community and has been a regular broadcaster at RPP for the past 6 years. In making the award, the Zimbabwe Community Australia Victoria Division noted Ronald's selfless commitment to his community, his valuable services as a mentor and guide, and his weekly volunteer commitment to RPP. His program, The Zimbabwe Show, is heard at 6 p.m. on Thursdays. The RPP family extends its warmest congratulations. After the break, we have Bianca with the coming week's weather report.
Hey, they're saying the fire danger rating's extreme. Should we go?
There's no fire around here. can spread bushfires as far as 40 kilometres. So you should leave early.
Authorised by the Victorian Government.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Here at Bridgestone Select, it's our job to keep you moving with the right advice,
a great range of products and service you can count on. So when it comes to tyres, when it comes to auto care,
come to Bridgestone Select for service that moves you.
Welcome back. We go now to Bianca with this week's weather.
Hello, I'm Bianca and welcome to this week's RPP weather update. Well, once again, it wasn't as wet as we thought it would be last week, and we actually had a few warmish days. Let's dive in and find out what's predicted for this week. Today, 30th of April, should bring us a mostly sunny day. We should reach a low of 7 and a high of 17. Monday should see a partly cloudy day with a low of 7 and a top of 19. Tuesday will be cloudy with the possibility of some showers over the peninsula. We are expecting a top of 19 and a low of 10. Wednesday sees this trend continue with a low of 11 and a high of 16. Thursday sees the cloud cover continue with patchy rain throughout the day. We should reach a high of 16 and a low of 9. Friday brings us a mostly cloudy day with intervals of rain. We can expect a top of 15 and a low of 7. And finally, Saturday, we'll see the rain continuing throughout the morning. However, we should see the sun popping through the clouds later in the day. We should reach a high of 14 and a chilly low of 3. Well, that's all for this week. Try to stay warm and I will see you next week.
We now cross to other stories from around Frankston and the peninsula.
By the RPP team this evening, big Russell Gabriel, and Russell, that was an important win for you boys this evening. And first half, the rain coming down, you really adjusted the conditions very well this evening.
Yeah, it was intense first half. Like, it was physical. The boys knew what to do. We had the game plan and we stuck to it. It was good. We tried to play territory footy. Boys got in the front half, kept it in there, and we denied Langy the ball. So it was good. It worked really well.
And you did a fair share of the work in the ruck this evening. You'll sleep pretty well tonight after that. You worked very hard on your game tonight.
Yeah, with Bo being out the last couple of weeks, it's been intense to say the least. Nothing by myself, but I'm really waiting for him to get back from his injury and make my life a bit easier so I can play forward a bit more. So, just
in regards to the first 3 weeks that Pines had, you didn't get a win, but you were competitive against the Bombers, I think.
Yeah, Bombers, we kicked ourselves out of the game in the first half. We were dominating that first half, and our goal kicking let us down, and that followed into next week. So I feel like we've been dominant for the last 2 weeks in a row. We've been probably 2-1. But that's where the confidence came from tonight, and we knew if we played like we have been, we'd win the game. So,
and well, now you've got the win on the board. Hopefully, you can go forward from here. And who are you got next week?
We got YC down at their ground, so that'll be an interesting battle. So,
you'll go watch him tomorrow, will you?
No, I'll go watch out the Resins play. Really, I don't really care about how other sides play. I'll just go support the boys and enjoy our mateship. So.
And I know he's come back from injury, but that's not on Big Red tonight.
Yeah, he's both those boys are solid units. So lucky enough to play against him 2 years ago in a rugby match before I head to Park. So I knew how he'd play, so I just sort of used that to my advantage tonight. So
congratulations, Russell, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, mate.
Now to our surf guru Muzz for the Surf Report.
Hey, it's Muzz back with this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. So pretty reasonable week of waves. There was something in it for everyone this last week, and the next week in front of us looks pretty much the same. Swell's going to come up tomorrow. When the first part of the next front comes through, wind's going to be alright. It's going to go around to that west-northwest and maybe more west than northwest, and the swell will pick up in the afternoon, and that's going to kind of run through fairly solid right through. Monday looks like it'll be onshore, southerly, but then come back Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday next week, and it's going to go back around to that northwest or west, and the swell's going to remain pretty solid, probably in about that 8 foot mark on the beach breaks, which will mean same as this week just gone. 2 foot waves in Western Port, maybe a little bit bigger. There'll be a few days will be better than other days, but pretty much from Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, you're going to be surfing reasonably good waves in Western Port. And the tides, the tides aren't great, but they're not too bad. At least they're not as big as what they were this week. It was a good week of waves, and finished the school holidays. The crowds are starting to back off again. Water's cooling down, but still plenty of waves around. Really good time to be able to go surfing and enjoy. And I'll see you next week.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition. Then plays the music.